Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Factory podcast. Today, I have a couple of guests here. I have Ja'Cory, Tobias, Tyreek, and John. And we're going to have a very simple topic, but the topic is simple, but it's the biggest topic, literally, in the history of topics besides, America. If football, soccer, Messi versus Ronaldo, but we're going to keep it America. This topic is similar. Who is the greatest basketball player of all time? For centuries, that doesn't make sense. For decades, people have asked, who is the greatest? Now, everyone has a couple different answers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to let y'all have the floor. Ja'Cory, you had a very interesting answer to the NFL GOAT discussion. I'm curious of what your NBA GOAT discussion is. So I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to let you have the floor. And you tell the world, who is the greatest basketball player of all time?
Okay, I just had to stand up for that because, when we talk about the greatest, we talk about pure dominance. We talk about somebody who could not be stopped. Somebody who, if you look at the game 30 years from now and just look at purely off of what everybody did, this person just stands out. This person is great in any era. This person was an all-time athlete before athletes were even a thing. This person had a Giannis build when there was no such conceivable idea of what a Giannis would be built like. This person also, his name is Wilt Chamberlain.
No.
I was ready for it, man. Because, man, he was hyping that, man. He said for athletes were a thing. That's special.
Wilt Chamberlain not only holds countless records, the most points scored in the game, the most rebounds got in the game, the most games played in the season. Wilt Chamberlain, if Giannis played back then, that would have been what Chamberlain would have been. 100 points. People don't understand the type of athlete Wilt Chamberlain is. Not only was he a track star, not only was he a movie star, a TV star, a womanist, He was a lot of things, okay?
He was definitely a womanist, yeah. Definitely a womanist.
And one thing that people always forget about him is he was the greatest player of all time. If basketball disappeared off the face of the earth, all the analysts, everybody, and all we had was stat sheets, and we looked at these stat sheets, everybody would conclude Wilt Chamberlain was the best player just looking at these numbers.
But wait. I want to ask you a question, though. I do want to ask you a question.
Okay.
So, there's a thing in time, we call it inflation, right? And inflation is worked, it's an economic term, but it does, hold with NBA stuff because if there are 8 teams in the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. And not only the 8 teams, but the majority of the population of the NBA is how we say Caucasian. And the average height of the player isn't very tall. Taller than us, but not tall in today's terms. Do you think that would make sense why he would do that? Also, with the fact that the pace is the highest ever, do you think all of those things would help with that 50-point average and all that?
Yes and no. I feel like in today's game, back then when there was 3 7-footers, now there's like 10. Okay, so yes, that number has pretty much tripled, but there's only 10. Okay. And not one of those other 7-footers was Wilt. Okay, the next closest player that Wilt has ever played against was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, not even
What about Russell?
No, Russell admitted he was better. Russell said the only reason I continued to beat Wilt is because I had a better supporting cast. The only reason. He would have had so many defensive player of the years had that been invented when he played. It's also a time factor why he doesn't have the same type of accolades as some of these other greats. Some of his seasons got lost in the wind. We don't know about these times he played Kareem and blocked him 3 times in a row. It was ridiculous. He was a work of art compared to basketball.
But how come? How come no one talks about him like that? How come no one talks about him being the greatest? How come you're like 1 out of 100 people to say that?
Because people know that they will never see that greatness again. Okay? Nobody will ever show that type of dominance again. So it's a myth. It's fantasized. It's unreal. It's
because it might not be
abstract.
real. It might not even be real. That might all be a myth. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nobody's even. I don't know. It's crazy. No one's seen his best game. The 100-point game is literally impossible to see. That tells me a lot. I don't know. That might have been a myth.
I mean, hey, you believe what you believe. All I know is I see videos of Kareem and Russ telling me how good that man was. I seen videos of him talking about how he kicked everybody's ass.
But,
So.
Hey, what's bias? You obviously, I don't know if you agree with that. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure most humans don't agree with that. But
y'all
Tobias,
should.
Tobias, you tell me. Okay, first off, do you think that's incorrect? How incorrect do you think that is?
You see, my intention when I came here today was not to disrespect any of the legends. You understand? The problem is that Jacory likes to set people up for failure. You know what I'm saying? He's not a hater. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a motivator. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those bad apples you need to avoid. You know what I'm saying? In order to reach positivity in your life. You see, the thing about Wilt Chamberlain and him bringing this man into the GOAT discussion. You feel me? There's a lot of problems with that. You feel me? The first problem I have with Jacory's whole point is that he's going basically off of secondary sources. You hear me? All right, I don't know if you guys know about research. You feel me?
Oh man, we taught that in school, boy. I remember that.
When you doing research, you feel me?
Primary sources.
People tend to prioritize primary sources. You feel me? Because those are resources that are first hand. You know what I'm saying? Not altered. I don't know if you ever played the telephone game back when you were in kindergarten, but by the time that first message reached the end of the line, it tends to be a lot different, don't you think? You understand?
I mean, I got a question, Toby. I didn't want to interrupt you, but that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because, when NBA scorecards come out and it shows one Goliath of a human scoring 80, 100 points in one game and 50 rebounds in multiple games. Is that like something is that not research? Is that not factual?
But there's a thing that we have, and it's a beautiful thing. I think it's literally the most important thing when it comes to communication. It's called context. I love context. Y'all love context. With the context of that, the fact that no one else does that besides him, I don't think it means that he's just that much better than everyone. I think it's just because everyone was white and he's black and he's 7 feet. Like these people have secondary jobs.
Right.
And he's literally just playing like everyone. Like literally, they say they make fun of Jordan facing plumbers. Wilt's literally facing plumbers.
Facts.
But Jesse, what I'm trying to tell you is we're talking like Wilt was the only black player back then. There were other black players.
Yeah, but
like when he came out of high school, there was 200 colleges trying to get his ass. You don't know that though. When he competed in the Olympics for track, because he's an athlete.
It's a lot of he said, she said stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie.
You say what?
It's like a he says, she says, man. This man's like the Bigfoot of NBA. It's like you seen him or you didn't, man. It's like we don't know if this man really existed.
Secondary.
Like, that's
the problem.
Man.
That's why,
I know he exists.
That's why he's not in the GOAT discussion because a lot of people don't choose to see him. They choose to see Jordan. We seen him. We lived him. A lot of y'all lived him.
Now, a lot of people lived him
or y'all
too, but a lot of people.
He's drilled in this generation.
There's people who saw Wilt, but
he never had a chance.
I mean,
I think Wilt nowadays, if he played nowadays, he would be a MVP All-Star, 29, 30 points per game. A good player. But 50 averaging 50 points and 25 rebounds.
Bro.
Like Shaq, if you put Shaq in the 60s.
Damn, it's like you playing against a taller on a breakaway rim. Bro, of course you dunking on that little kid every single time. Like it's nothing. It's like a goal that you put on the back of your closet, man. You already know you're gonna dunk on some kids. Like, come on, man.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't
know if you knew that.
Tyreek, you're absolutely right. Tyreek, you are absolutely right. Because Wilt was not like no adult dunking on kids. Wilt was an NBA player dunking on kids.
No.
Wilt was a monster.
They were 5'5",
Wilt is not a human anatomy.
Bro, they were 5'5". I know girls taller than him, bro. Bro, come on now.
That's stupid, boy. He said girls, boy. Hey, look.
That's the average
Wilt
height of a
Chamberlain.
woman right now. He's dunking on them.
7-1.
No, but look, Wilt Chamberlain averaging all them points, and then how many? He has 2 championships. I don't know, man. I kind of, to me, I just expect if you averaging 50 points per game, you didn't. I don't think he didn't win the MVP that year. He didn't even win the MVP. He averaged 50.
He trashed.
He got no, he didn't, but he did. He do got a couple MVPs.
He got a couple. Yeah, he got a couple. But I tell you, he was pretty inefficient. Like that 100-point game is a pretty inefficient game.
Facts.
It's not. It's great, but it's pretty inefficient.
Well, so was Kobe's 80-point game.
Yeah, but like,
nah, bro, Jalen Rose, bro, he got nightmares. He bring that mug every year. He know the anniversary before Kobe did, bro. He made a commercial, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He said anytime he talk about 81, I got cooked. He'd be like, man, I got cooked, man. It was a blessing too. He'd be like, cause Kobe did it too. He'd be like, dang, man, calm down.
We look at that game, the 81-point game. We look at that game more as that's like the game we look at. We don't look at the 100-point game. We base off, we almost got the Kobe's 81. We don't look at the 100 because we know the 100's just like.
But who do you think Kobe was trying to
That's retarded to even try to do, score 100 points in a game. Like, why would you even do that?
That's what Kobe was trying to do.
He didn't. No, he wasn't. He was
trying to get the 80 because you 19. He was just trying to get 80. He was trying to get the win.
He was just trying to
win. He was trying to break Wilt record.
Retarded.
And he couldn't.
If it's a team sport, why would you try to score 100 by yourself? You got 5 people on the other side.
See, that tell you some shot chucker, bro.
That is retarded. Like, why would you even try
to? If you are repeatedly the most dominant player in a league and your team is always the underdog against the best teams in the league,
you're going to score 100 points before it click in your head that, like, you going to get to 100
probability. If bro play 8 years, he should have a pretty good chance of getting at least 1 championship.
Like, if you score,
there's only 8 teams.
If you scored 100 points and the other team is still in the game, bro. How long does it take for you to click to just put the ball down and just sit out? Like, bro, they got it. Like, you gonna sit here and try to score 100, you're down by 40. Like, let me just keep scoring. Like, maybe they'll cut down and they just shoot you out the gym.
See, because he had the mentality like, all right, is this game?
He had the mentality to chuck up shots.
Yeah, bro, that does not make no sense whatsoever. Just you're gonna drop step. You know he won't shoot no threes, so he just gonna drop step for like 50 times. What are we gonna do? What we gonna do?
And I'm glad you said something about the threes, Tyreek, because we talk about Jordan fadeaway. Wilt damn near invented the fadeaway. Have you? Like, and he's like,
why would you fade away on short people?
He did fadeaways, but my thing is he did it for no reason. He said he was practicing out there. Want to know why, Jacory? Because everybody out there was about the size of practice dummies.
Bro, like,
okay, but when KD do it, he's so elite. When KD do it, he elite. He
no, but KD facing 6'10" black people. He's not facing 6'2" white people.
Kicking them and all types of stuff, man. Like, come on now. That's KD.
But look, hey, John. I'm curious. I know Wilt Chamberlain's so old that I don't even think your father or your grandfather may have seen him.
Bro.
But
he's a myth.
But from the information, the information you got, do you have any opinions on Jacory's take of Wilt Chamberlain?
I think he got a fair point. I mean, you can't really say that he played against everything y'all saying is like y'all showing how dominant he is, in my opinion. You're saying you compared him to playing a toddler. But they're all grown men. It's not like he's playing high schoolers. So
he basically is.
Showing how dominant he was.
I think to me he basically is like he's facing plumbers. Like he's literally facing plumbers. They have second job.
You also
like
mentioned
LeBron
inflation.
In a high school game. You know what I'm saying? Like how much is LeBron scoring on a high school game if you made it 12-minute quarters? He might get them boys 100. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of what Wilt was doing. Like Wilt so bad, like because the NBA they was different then. They didn't get big bucks. They had to have second jobs. Wilt literally had to use the Golden Road Trot. What are they called? The
Harlem Globetrotters.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Bro.
I'm about to go to the NBA.
Hey, no cap. I think Chino Hills could beat one of those 1950s NBA teams.
With Lonzo and LaMelo,
back when they had LaMelo.
I'm not like they probably could, bro. Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo could probably beat some 1950s. I know with disrespect, y'all paved the way. But y'all are old, and it's not even y'all are old. Y'all are
game
the
is
way
so
they
outdated,
dribble,
bro. It's kind of like
taking Wilt to win against none of these new niggas. Not especially his team. His team was gone.
John, you about to say something? What are you about to say, John? I was
gonna say you mentioned inflation, right? But also that can apply for He was from the what's his time period?
The 60s.
So he's from the 60s. So he's not. So imagine if he was born in today's time, would he be just as dominant? Like
No, he wouldn't average 50.
No.
The human body has progressed. The human body has progressed to where we are right now. So his body, if he was born today, it wouldn't be the same body as back then.
It'd be better. It would be better, but the competition would also be better. The competition is terrible. The competition
would be better.
Absolutely.
He would be fit for today's body. It wouldn't be a body from the 50s or the 60s.
Yeah, it wouldn't. But look, just like those plumbers.
The athletes today are built. They're stronger, faster, etc. So he would have the same vitamins. He would have the same minerals. He would have the same genes.
And so with those plumbers too.
But the coaching and the defensive schemes, it wouldn't allow him to do that. Like Giannis, you wouldn't allow Giannis. You can defend this stuff. And same with LeBron. Yeah. It's only you're not going to be able to get off every single game.
Can you really defend Giannis?
Yeah, you build a wall.
Wilt played in the league, bro, where his best defender, bro, was a 6'9" player, bro.
That's crazy.
That was 3 inches shorter than him.
Even on the top 75 list, it's universally
it's like if you put Giannis against fucking Mo Wagner every night. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mo Wagner. That's crazy.
But
look, another thing with inflation, John, is actually even bigger inflation piece, and this is this is something that I know because the historian piece. Back in the 60s, the pace, how fast you go back and forth, was much higher. It was the highest ever. So everyone is scoring a bunch. Oscar Robertson averaging a triple-double, Wilt Chamberlain averaging 50 because they have the ball so much. You're just you shoot the ball quick, get the ball. It's not 24 seconds of shot clock. They're getting it off in 5 or 6 seconds. Bow, 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 bow. We don't do that no more. That'd be a lot of turnovers. My man was having a lot of turnovers. We don't do that no more. The pace is lower. Nobody allows that type of pace. So that's why you can average 50 if you have the ball more. You have more possessions. We don't do that no more. So he's just literally, the coach won't allow him. The system and coaching won't allow him to do that. And then, like you said, with inflation with the players, the competition, there'll be 24 more teams playing, and most of them will be black, and most of them be around his height, and most of them 7 feet 6'10" around his height. And they'll be better players. So with all of that being said, he'll still be a all-star MVP maybe player, but he's not. He might averaging 50, 40, 35. He's not doing
it. And also with the top 75 list, most of the people from the 60s is universally people agree most of the people shouldn't even be on the list anymore.
Right,
it's so outdated. Their game is just compared to the rest of them.
Do you think Wilt should have not been on that list? I'm not talking about.
Well, he could, but he doesn't have any peers. Michael Jordan and LeBron them have way more peers on that list than Wilt because they played against him.
For sure, because like you said, the talent was much lower. But for him to rank high on that list, because I still consider him a top 10 player on that list. I don't care what anybody who makes the list, but he should be a top 10 player on that list.
Because it's because of freak of nature, not because it's he wasn't the most skilled person. It's just a freak of nature. It's not skill based. It's more you just so happen to be a freak at this time.
Yeah, but if he's getting paid what they get paid today, he doesn't have to worry about his second job. He can train. He can be better. It's we don't have anything. You're saying that he's playing these certain type of players, plumbers or whatever you're saying, but who's to say that he wouldn't train harder? He wouldn't work harder. He wouldn't, because he has the height, he has the skill set to be as good as anybody, right?
But we have different.
John.
No, but we have different rules and everything. We can't just stand in the paint for forever.
Yeah, because there's different rules.
He will progress with the rules. He would play the game differently. If he was born in this time period, he wouldn't know the game from the 50s. He would play the game how it is of the 2000s.
But that would hit his numbers, though. That would say his numbers would take a dip.
It's okay to hit his numbers. That's fine. But his numbers would adjust to today's time.
The numbers is a big part of his argument for the GOAT.
Yeah,
they'll throw his numbers out there. His stats.
Jacory's
using his stats as his argument. But if he averaged 30 or 29,
that's still pretty good.
That wouldn't be a sting
stat guy like he is now.
He averaged 30.
What Jordan averaged 30?
Jordan has the highest scoring average of all time, which is crazy because Wilt has a 50 points per game season. So the fact that Jordan obviously never had that, so that's crazy. How I'm curious though, Jacory. I don't know if you're still here, but like, who's your second greatest player? Who's your second player on that list? Because if Wilt's number one, I don't know who's number two. Actually,
you said if Wilt number one, who number two?
Yeah, who number two?
I swear if you say Bill Russell.
He said Bill Russell. That was crazy.
Nah.
1950.
You paying homage.
I would say LeBron.
Just paying homage. It's funny. Like he went from like really, really old to really back in the day to really modern.
Because I respect dominance. Like, and LeBron has a type of dominance to like not only.
Bro.
Wilt was a player that dominated.
That's a deep side. Tyreek had a deep side.
Wilt was a player that dominated by himself. LeBron's the type of player that dominates, with his teammates, through his teammates. So it's just a different way of dominating.
I don't understand how we're not understanding it. Like Wilt Wilt dominated by himself because he played in the league, which allowed him to dominate by himself. You understand that? Like it was 8 teams and they all bad compared to the fact that
they were all better than his team, though. He had like a bad team.
They weren't all better. The Celtics were better and the Lakers
and the Rockets.
It's crazy.
But the Rockets didn't exist when.
Yeah, they didn't exist. There's only 8 teams, Jacory.
Exactly,
teams,
bro. Like, come on,
there's no
bro.
ABA. There's no it's literally
you're right. I meant
Boston. Like it's like I said in the basketball world, is universally agreed upon. The competition level was very low. The skill level was very low. So compared to him, it's a really big drop off to the next good person. So
but my thing. It's not even his skill in the level is not what made him so good in that era. It was his numbers. Size. It's his
and but that's there's no competition.
There's nobody to challenge your greatness. You're just gonna get your stuff off.
If Shaq played in the '60s, you think and Shaq playing with Chamberlain, who you think would be better? Who you think would be better? Shaq or better? Chamberlain? What's better than Shaq?
Shaq said it.
Shaq ain't say that. Shaq said King better than him. Shaq has never said Wilt better than him.
Shaq said Wilt was more dominant than I was.
Because at least
Shaq would have dominated back then.
At least
Shaq is the most dominant player ever. I don't care about Wilt. I don't care about none of that Wilt stuff. When they faced the Lakers and he was destroying David Robinson, a current player, like a player that's current. No, obviously, at the time, but MVP player,
bro.
David Robinson and Tim Duncan just destroyed them.
Bro.
Nah, that wasn't no 6'2" white man. That's Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
According to Shaq, he would dominate now as well, though.
Wait, say it again?
I say Shaq said he would dominate now in today's league.
I mean, yeah, because there's still no center. There's no there's Joel Embiid, Jokic, and after that, there's no other center.
Wilt dominate today's league.
But that doesn't matter. I don't know why we keep speaking on whether or not Wilt would dominate in today's league, because the problem is he did not play in today's league. He played back there in the 60s. So, you know what I'm saying? The reality is Wilt as a player back then, you know what I'm saying? That person, if you put him against any of these NBA players we talking about now, no bullshit. I'm not trying to hold him. He would get smashed.
He's still 25.
Disrespect that man.
Based off of what?
Wilt don't want to guard no guards on the perimeter. He ain't never seen a nigga that can do a true crossover.
Dang, bro.
These niggas was dribbling with their circles and shit.
I think he'll still win MVP. Though, I ain't gonna lie.
You're talking about if fucking Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, or anybody from today's league time traveled back to 1960 and played them. Yes.
Well, if Steph Curry playing the 60s, it wouldn't work because he can't shoot threes.
I don't give a fuck, bro. That nigga still they size, but he might still give a fuck.
He can still finish,
But he be shooting half court 2-pointers.
Bro, he'll still be finishing around the rim. He's just finishing game nice.
Players ever.
Yeah, because them niggas can't even lay up for real. Like they ain't got no bags, bro.
He didn't have to. He could dunk it. He could.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot of people can dunk it, especially nowadays, right? Yeah, so. Yeah. No, but look, you know what? Here's the point. Here's the thing, though. When we talk about the greatest, though, we do talk about his time era and what he did in that era. So I'm not going to compare other people to him, putting him back in his era. In his era, he is the most dominant player of his era for sure, and his numbers are crazy.
Bro.
And to me, he is the top 10 player of all time. If he played nowadays, he would win an MVP. There's only 2 other centers that are MVP level nowadays, so yeah, he can definitely do that. I'm just saying no. With the context, the GOAT debate is so being the GOAT is so, you have to have such a great argument that if there's any type of if there's anything to chip off at, you don't get it. Like, you can't have any blemish.
Jesse.
Or if you have a blemish, you have to have a really good moment to make up for that blemish.
So, okay, I'll look at it like this. Like, say, like, you're present, like, you graduated college, you're a college graduate. It's like you going back to Nimitz and being a valedictorian or, like, first in your class. You're a college graduate, or you're going back to middle school and you're number one in your class and you already graduated college. Like, you're so much gifted than everybody else. There's the drop off. There is no competition. The level of work that you're doing is not hard. Like, you're like GT people or AP person taking regular classes. You're a regular class and you're scoring. You're having A's.
That's how you compare it.
So it's like
that's you comparing.
Yeah, the level of work and the level of competition. Like, there's nobody else that's smarter than you. You're gonna, like, as long as you just show up to school every day, you're gonna be number one.
Sorry.
That's like that's not smart. If you was like, hey,
Tariq, where do you have Wilt? Where do you have Wilt on your top 10? Tariq?
He's still he's still top 10. No, I'm not saying he's trash, but he's not the greatest. Because it's like,
who's number one on you for Tariq? I'm curious. Who's number one?
Mike, for sure.
Everybody be like Mike. Sure. No, I pick Mike too. But Tobias, I know. Yeah, Tobias, you tell us why it's not Mike. But I definitely have Mike.
He's a hater, bro. He's a hater.
It's Wilt.
No, listen, bro. Listen, bro.
But I need to hear this though. Tell me why.
So my argument for Mike, bro, is very similar to
my I'm gonna mute my camera. I'm mute my mic.
To my argument for my nigga Wilt, except for the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I believe that Mike did play significantly better competition, you know what I'm saying? And he himself, I believe, was actually a skilled player, and to this day, you feel me, his footwork and his mid-range jumpers and his athleticism from a young age and stuff, his longevity, all that stuff would translate. He would still be cooking niggas for 30 today, you know what I'm saying, if not more, you know what I'm saying? But this is the problem, I feel like, you feel me? People like to bring up the fact that Michael Jordan has 6 rings and he's 6-6 in the finals, okay? That is true. There's no doubt, you know what I'm saying, to that. You see what I'm saying? The problem, though, is that all 6 of those teams, you go through them and stuff like that, the talent comparative to some of the teams that my GOAT has faced, you feel me, I do not feel to be equitable or equal, you know? So Michael Jordan, he did sweep 6 teams and he did kill the league and stuff like that. But you got to look at LeBron. The level of dominance, you feel me, is very similar up until the finals, you feel me? The problem is that LeBron has lost more finals than MJ, and he actually has a losing record in the finals, which isn't the best, I understand, from my man's argument. But I try to tell people that, if anything, should let you know more so about the strength of the league nowadays. You feel me? We don't live in the league. When's the last time we've seen a three-peat? The Golden State Warriors had the greatest team of all time, I feel like, in many of our eyes. You know what I'm saying? And they won, 3 out of 4 championships, even after they got KD? That's ridiculous. Like, how you on three-peat? Remember that one year, they literally had the record, you know what I'm saying, and still lost in the finals. You feel me? To the Cavs, and they gonna say because Draymond got suspended, and that's cool, whatever. You feel me? They lost even after they got KD because of injuries, you know? So, it's just...
Bro.
Go ahead.
This is what I'm gonna say. Wait, Tyree, before you go, this is what I'm gonna say. So, to me, it's like, when I think of the GOAT, I think of I say this word a lot, who has the most plot in terms of their career was just plot driven. They're the main character and they had the best story. Now, LeBron has a great story. LeBron James, to me, because this is the thing, this is like the difference thing, is like the greatest player of all time, best player of all time. It's that type of thing. Like, I could hear, if you said LeBron James is the best overall talent ever, because he could pass, good scorer, you know, obviously he's bigger, stronger, gets the rim, all these things. You can, and I'll listen to you, but in terms of the greatness, just being the greatest player of all time, like, it's such a your record, it has to have no blemish. Michael Jordan, literally, you can say he has literally a perfect career. The only two things you can say about Michael Jordan is that he's 1-9 without Scottie Pippen. But the only reason he's 1-9 because he's facing the Larry Bird Celtics, and you can't name Michael Jordan second best player. He's facing the Celtics, and he's facing a really good Milwaukee Bucks team. I know that's very slept on, but a really good Milwaukee Bucks team and one of the best teams ever in the Celtics. He gets Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen develops. They can't beat the Pistons. The Pistons are better. He beats the Pistons, sweeps the Pistons, and then literally for the entire decade of the 1990s, only loses one time in the whole postseason series. And the only reason he loses is because he was rusty came back from baseball, was rusty, lost to Orlando, came back, won the most games ever, swept Orlando, and won the championship. That literally,
I'm about to cook.
to me.
Hold
but
on.
Tyreek, hold up, let him cook. Tyreek, what you about to say?
Before you talk, please.
All right, bro.
But Ja'Cory, go ahead.
Yeah,
Ja'Cory, go ahead. Then
Tyreek. My thing is, Jordan. You know, he had a perfect career for somebody who maximized at their peak. Yes, correct. You know, he had a very great start, but he couldn't win. He didn't win until he had Phil. He had 3 years.
Makes sense.
He had 6 years. Yes, 3. What is it called? 3-time back-to-backs. But like, what happened when he got older? Like, what did he do with that Wizards team? You forgot about that?
I mean, the Wizards aren't.
Oh no.
The Wizards weren't.
I forgot. When it comes to Jordan's Wizards basketball team, it's like an asterisk on Wilt's 100-point game. You know, it don't exist apparently. You know?
No. Look, the Wizards. Michael Jordan and the Wizards exist. It's just Michael Jordan took 3 years off, was older, almost 40, and the Wizards don't have no good team. So of course, he's not taking the Wizards to the finals.
Part owner of the team at the time.
Yeah. He was doing that more so he could be owner, right? But they hold him terrible. But he was doing that for a reason. So.
And then on top of that, bro,
Asterisk. It's just it just don't.
But with LeBron, like I said,
I think real life. If we think about it, Michael Jordan's career is really like a rom-com. I remember they used to have this old saying about rom-coms. You know why rom-coms always end after the happy ending? Because that's when the happy ending stopped. You know what I'm saying? So he had that little span where he went crazy. You feel me? Right? Got the 2-3 peaks. 2-3 peaks.
Years, bro.
I mean, no. We're gonna speak on like, okay, he had a great career in terms of his stats and stuff like that. But for 6 years,
plus a college career too.
6 years, he went all the way to the finals. Right? How long did Jordan play? Wasn't it like 18, 19, 20 years? Right?
But he
played from 84. He played 14 seasons. No, he retired 2 years. So he played 13 seasons on the Bulls, and he played 2 seasons in Washington. So 15 seasons.
But you know how cold you gotta be, bro.
15 seasons. So for about a third of his career, more than a third, over a third of his career.
What you're saying?
He owned the league. You know what I'm saying? Right. Actually, he won the championship, so he owned the league for about 6 years of his career. But after that little span, he fell off. You feel me? Came back
because he retired.
Wasn't that really that good? The thing about LeBron argument, because I wasn't able to even bring up like what makes LeBron so great. I had to go ahead and try to
bring that up.
Preface it with the final discussion, so we don't get into LeBron. He only did this in the finals. You feel me? No, this is the reality. Mm-hmm. LeBron has literally spent half of his career in the NBA Finals. All right. Now, if we go down the majority of those rosters, because people are gonna talk about super teams. You feel me? We're gonna talk about super teams. All right. A lot of those rosters he brought to the finals were not finals teams. You feel me? Like if you put
I can name 2. There's only two.
Bro, I'm about to cook your argument, bro.
The first Cavs and the last Cavs. Only 2.
Oh man.
Others clearly better. Just the first one and the last one were in finals, right? It was just him. Only 2. Yeah. Everyone with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie, and you're in the finals. The Eastern Conference, you're in the finals. No, but the first and last one, I get.
That, bro, and the finals, he lost with the Heat. You feel me? Especially the one against Dallas. You know what I'm saying, in the playoffs.
That's the one. That's the one.
But I like to think when we think about the GOAT,
you got jumped up by Jason Terry,
because I know people like you know what I'm saying? They like they movies where it's real simple. They like they movies real simple, you know what I'm saying? The movie
Michael Jordan getting dropped off by Derek
Fisher. They gonna set everything up. They gonna rise. He gonna reach the climax. He gonna fall down. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And then he gonna come back and kill at the end. Happy ending. That's literally Jordan. You feel me?
That's
Came
like
up,
Michael Jordan getting dropped off by Mark Price.
3-peat, fell off, left basketball for a while, came back, rose up, happy ending. Right?
Bro,
it's real simple. You see me? I feel
like Michael Jordan getting dropped off by Mark Price in the finals, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's like
now you like I guess you type of person. You like the real typical shonen anime. You know what I'm saying? Like the shonen jump type stuff. Okay. We gotta mix it up though. I feel like nowadays we getting into a lot more plot. You feel me? That's your word, right? A lot deeper plot.
That's my word. I love plot.
So with LeBron, you feel me? We got the chosen one compared to the GOAT, right? The one that was considered the GOAT at that time from a young age. You feel me? Now before LeBron, we knew there have always been people compared to Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, however, has ever been able to live up to it. Not even close, right? Except for my man LeBron. My man LeBron went through high school, had the cameras on him.
Kobe was decent. Kobe did decent. Like he wasn't Jordan, but Kobe was the closest you can get. in terms of
But
in terms
even
of how he plays.
Kobe had popularity in high school, but we know legitimately nobody had the level of popularity outside of maybe if you talk about Wemby now that LeBron had.
But Toby,
a
lot of that got to do with today's era. You know, it's a lot of phones and shit.
Twitter
You
and
know,
stuff. Yeah.
like
But you would
say
think
if
wouldn't that
Wilt
make it
played in
easier for somebody to blow
era,
up?
he would have
LeBron blew up
been
in an
like
era
the
where
most
the only way
recruited
you
person.
could where the only way people was knowing about each other was through magazines and phone calls to your house and through, you know what I'm saying, word to mouth, you feel me? And they was comparing him to Jordan. Then he entered the league and immediately was a top 10 to 15 player in the league. Off the rip, talent-wise, you feel me?
Let me interject. Actually, John, you did go off mute. John, I'm curious up to this point, what do you think about? And then Tyreek, then you can go and get your cook on real quick, and then we go back to Tobias.
Nah, you can go ahead and go. I'll rebuttal that. I mean, I agree.
Okay, Tyreek.
LeBron is the GOAT.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Tyreek, go ahead and cook. Do what you gotta do.
For sure. Thanks for the ball, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, man. I ain't gonna lie. I can tell you why. Because he went against, like, top, like, he went against, like, his competition during his career. He went against top players in their positions. He went against Magic, arguably the best point guard ever. If not, just to get out of his conference, he had to go against Isaiah Thomas, probably like a top 3 point guard ever, and a defensively known team. He had to go against Larry Bird at the time.
Did you say Kareem?
He's probably like what, number 3, 4 best small forward ever. And then you had to go against Kevin McHale at the time, probably the top power forward at the time. And he go against a historically great team. Of course, if you're by yourself, you're not going. He just needed one person. He killed every single person top position at the time at all time. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah. Once he got on, he stayed on top.
But this is late prime Magic. This is late prime Larry.
No, bro. If it was
this is like LeBron if he entered the league on year 10 Jordan. He would have did some disgusting things to that man.
And he's talking about historically great. It's not just players, historically great teams and coaches. The foundational players for how we play today, all-time great players. It's not even that. The ones that came up with him, like Hakeem, Clyde, every single historically great player, it was in his era, and he dominated them. Like, he had a grip on it, single-handedly.
Truthfully, I feel like Sean Livingston could have started on some of those teams that Jordan played against, and I feel like Sean Livingston would have did damage to some of those guys. I feel like bench players in today's era could give some of those guys.
Patrick Ewing, Mark Price. He made Patrick Ewing's career look like garbage. Every single year,
That's hilarious.
Ran through them.
And Patrick was a good player,
He
but
really was a good player, but he ran through them since college. Ran through Patrick
This is my interjection. LeBron James, you can argue someone in his era had more plot or the same amount of plot as him, and his name is Stephen. Steph Curry has a ton of plots.
No, but
and Steph Curry kept hoeing. Like LeBron James literally actually had a trajectory in my mind that could have lived up to become the greatest player of all time. When he came back, no, wait, I'll let you go, but look, wait, 3-1 comeback. In my mind, when he got 3-1 comeback, immediately vaulted up to second greatest. If he kept going, he built a dynasty in Cleveland. I'm thinking, okay, Cleveland is very snake-bitten. It's an awful city to win. You can't win in Cleveland. So if he brings dynastic vibes to Cleveland, I can see, okay, the argument's getting better. But Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, kept hoeing them. You lose so many times in the finals. You 4-6 in the finals. And look, when we compare careers, like I said, you can say, to me, if LeBron, I feel this is more of a recency bias type of thing. Like, of course, if I just watch LeBron James consistently break records in terms of all-time stuff, and that's what I'm watching. I'm not watching any Michael Jordan, then of course. But if you watch both, if you live both, like you live through Michael Jordan and you live through LeBron, then that might be a little different. At that point, I can say, okay, your opinion is not more recency bias. It's more just less what you think. Now, look, that being said, I'm telling you, look. It's the perfect career. Look, that LeBron loss to Dallas is so terrible. It's literally the worst loss in the history of the finals for a superstar. Like, you scored 8 points in a game. I can't. if Jason Terry and JJ Barea dropping you off, I can't.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's too hard to overcome. You have to do something crazy.
Plot,
he had to beat that.
That's true plot.
That's bad
because,
plot.
No,
that's
because MJ had to fall off, but his fall off, he didn't really even fall off. He took a break.
Yeah, I'm saying he took a break and got right back to winning. Another 3.
I understand, but like MJ's story, you know what I'm saying?
No, but you talk about Steph Curry, though?
Like a myth. You feel me? Like that's the type of story you hear like in children's storybooks where they tell you, hey, this guy went undefeated in the finals and went to the finals and had 2-3-peats, something that's never ever been done. And then they don't mention the fact. And then they don't mention the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that 9 other years, you feel me, he failed to proceed to the same goal and achievement. However, I could tell you about.
But that's the same thing with LeBron. The first from 2003 to 2010, LeBron James was losing. He made the finals once, and he was losing. He had the same type of trajectory as Michael Jordan, only he had that 0-1 loss to San Antonio. I didn't blame him, though, because, hey, his Cleveland team is terrible. Of course the Spurs going to sweep him. He goes to Miami. He builds a super team, and in the first year, he's talking mess. He's talking about, we're going to win 2, not 3, not 4. He's going to win 6, 7 championships. He loses to Jason Terry and JJ Barea, and he scores 8 points in the finals. I can't. That is the worst plot drop-off I have ever seen.
Jesse, you're thinking about it from the wrong perspective.
Nah, bro.
That's true character development. He joins Cleveland,
That's
right?
terrible.
He's drafted by Cleveland. He thinks he can lead the team by himself. He don't need no help. Then he realizes that nobody can do it by himself. So then he goes to the Heat. But his over-cockiness, the character development, his cockiness makes him proceed to believe that he could beat the world, only to be humbled by a 6'11" white man with weak knees. You feel me? He then proceeds to get back in the lab, come back, and then win 2 championships back to back. You feel me?
And then San Antonio destroys him. And then San Antonio destroys him, and then he has to lead teams again.
Because D-Wade fell off and Chris Bosh wasn't hooping the same.
Left,
so then he goes back home.
He left, bro.
The team that he couldn't lead at first.
He seen them knees getting
brings
weak on
them a
D-Wade,
championship from a 3-1 comeback. Nothing has ever been done.
Bro.
Then he goes to the Lakers, a story franchise, and brings them a championship.
He gets the Mickey Mouse championship. Yes, the Mickey Mouse bubble championship.
Depression, anxiety.
But you can argue it's either the hardest or the easiest championship ever.
I will say.
What?
How's that Mickey Mouse? I never understood.
That's literally what's called the LeBron championship.
Was that not the best basketball we've ever watched?
Nichols was sleeping with
the Disney.
I don't know what was going on in that bubble, bro. Like, it was crazy out there.
Yeah, but
look.
Only their team got an event.
Dropping 50 people was hooping.
No, but look. Here's the reason why. This is the reason why I say look. When you in the bubble, there's a lot of players. Like, remember T.J. Warren when he was dropping 50? There's a lot of players that when there's no crowd and there's no travel, you will play better because the pressure drops. There's no crowd, there's no travel. Right? So T.J. Warren, Duncan Robinson.
That did not play the same because they were away in the road and they was pussy and they needed their mama and their sister and they needed the support of their family.
But,
so it's both sides
I feel like
to that,
even,
though. You can say players,
like even more than that,
but players also like miss that shit. They was thrown off by that.
But
shit.
even, do you feel like that shit truly affected LeBron? Though we've seen LeBron in the playoffs play literally the best basketball of his career every time outside of Dallas. You feel me? So like them people not being there, that man did not play no different because the people were there. If anything, his competition was hooping a little bit better because they ain't had their mamas and daddies there. The Heat made the finals.
But the Heat. I say this all the time. Look, if it was regular crowds, the final should have been Bucks Lakers in my mind. With the crowds gone, Giannis and obviously the Wall thing, the Heat, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson playing so great at a young age because there's no crowd and all that, got the Heat to the finals. Then they get to the finals and they get injured. Everybody on the freaking Heat get injured. Jimmy Butler got to play 48 minutes, and now they still took him to 6 with just Jimmy Butler really. And then there you go. Good, beautiful plot, and I was happy for LeBron because that's the first time in a while things went his way because he's always the underdog in the finals, which is hilarious. But with that being said, look, that you're 4-6. That's tough. It's not even 500. You're 4-6 in the finals is tough.
Why did you say Bucks lost?
True character development.
They lost to Miami. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson went off.
Why did they lose? You said it was more challenging for them. Because they didn't have.
Yeah, when you don't travel, there's no home. You need home court. NBA postseason matters when you have home court. That's why you win a lot of games. But there's no
more
difficult.
8 finals in a row, Jesse.
Huh?
That man went to 8 finals in a row.
But he's in the East. He's in the Eastern Conference. But he's in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference wasn't. That's
the
not.
Bulls
If you're
not in the Eastern Conference.
What? Chicago? You talking about the 90s or the 2010s?
The 90s, back when like the
the 90s
fourth
Bulls.
best player was not comparable to people's fourth best player nowadays. Like I'm trying to tell y'all, the depth was not the same.
No, look. No, the East was weak. 2010's East is very weak. There's usually how it worked was LeBron's team.
Everybody
then they'll
else's
have one
team, bro.
Just one team, other team that's kind of good, and
Hey,
everyone else is
Tobias,
just average or
that
terrible.
Hawks team with Kyle Korver them, that was like a really good team. They were number 1, and then they got to the
they got swept. That's tough.
That was sorry. Who was the best person?
But yeah, like of course LeBron gonna beat Jeff Teague and Kyle Korver
Who was the second best person in that conference when LeBron was there?
Second best person, for the whole time, maybe Paul
exactly,
George.
Like a young Paul
Kyle
George who
Korver
got
would have
his
been the
legs
third
snapped.
best offensive player on the Bulls, like back in the 90s. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all though. Like he the average 20 on the Bulls back then.
Nah, he wasn't average no 20. I know. Look, Michael Scott and Tony Kukoc probably. Nah,
we talking about Killer Kyle? Don't you hate on Killer Kyle?
The Eastern Conference in the 2010s, the West was the hard thing. The East was not very good. You just had, remember the Raptors teams that for some reason just couldn't get out their own freaking head?
Lowry.
They had DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, just couldn't freaking.
Super fat Kyle Lowry.
All I gotta say was J.R. Smith would have been.
That's the hardest team they had
to
face.
J.R. Smith would have been.
I got a question.
J.R. Smith, nah. J.R. Smith.
I just got a question,
But
bro.
who the
So
fourth
like,
best
if
player on
we in
that
the
team back
finals,
then? We can't name them. Want to know why? Because they were not.
Wait. Let me think. You talking about the Pistons, right?
Yeah, 90s Pistons. Think about the fourth best.
You said
player.
they're the fourth best player.
Think about the fourth best.
And you correct, J.R. Smith.
I think J.R. Smith.
Okay, so look, they had Isaiah Thomas. Let me how many people they had? Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer, Vinnie Johnson. I would say he's the fifth. I think.
I don't know who Bill Laimbeer is.
John Sally.
Because
you ain't watched it. See, so you can't make no. Bill Laimbeer.
But I do
literally
believe,
the dirtiest player.
But I do believe that Bill Laimbeer sounds like a white man. And
he is white, yes.
We know what black men do to white men in the NBA today.
Well, I mean, Bill Laimbeer wasn't as he was very dirty. He was hitting the hell out of people. So I mean, they would. He would have got ejected likely. But no, that J.R. Smith ain't. No, you're not going to sleep in that Pistons. That Pistons team is not some trash team.
J.R. Smith can shoot. Could Bill Laimbeer shoot?
Bro wanted to.
I feel like
he can actually shoot.
LeBron wanted to add Carmelo to that big three, but Carmelo wanted that money. You know how sick that would have been if he would have got that off. He would have had.
If he had Carmelo on his team, now Carmelo would have. Nah, he wanted the ball. Carmelo wanted the ball.
He can't guard nobody.
Still, you know how crazy that would have been though. That's what he wanted. That was his will for the NBA to have him, D Wade, and Carmelo. That was his will. Like,
I mean, he wanted a super team, but he got after building two super teams. Really, he had 3 champions. I'm not counting the Lakers. He had Anthony Davis and him. He built 2 super teams and only got 3 championships out of 8 years of having that super team.
You know how
that's
crazy that is too.
That's tough. That's tough.
They said I had to learn how to win, and that's documented. Like, that's so crazy.
Dwayne Wade had to teach him how to win.
Learn how to win.
So Jordan didn't have to learn how to win. Jordan had to learn how to win.
No, he just needed Scottie Pippen. He just needed Scottie Pippen. He just needed Scottie Pippen. He just needed a player.
He wasn't winning before.
Because he's facing the Celtics and they have everyone on the Celtics. Of course he's not beating the Celtics.
He got his side
team. What the fuck?
No, but look, think about it. You talk about LeBron and the Cavaliers. Who are the Cavaliers facing in the East? Look. Who the Cavaliers facing? Let's start with the first round. Name other Eastern Conference teams in the 2000s. You got the Celtics. You got the Magic. Name any other team. That was good.
I mean, shit. That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
You can say the Hawks.
Now look at this.
And Michael Jordan running into the Celtics, the super Celtics every time. LeBron beating up on the Wizards. He beat up Gilbert Arenas and the Wizards. Clap. He's sweeping the Hawks.
Every time, like Michael Jordan had to go through historic great teams. When LeBron had to, he wasn't winning either. He went against the Celtics at his time with KG them. He wasn't winning either by himself. He had to go against the historically great Warriors.
Jordan lost to a lot of historically great teams too.
No, bro.
He lost to the Celtics and the Pistons.
He lost to the Rockets.
When he lost to the Rockets, you talking about in the regular season or postseason? He never faced them in the postseason.
He never played.
He lost to the Celtics and the Bad Boy Pistons. Those are 2 historic teams. That's it. And he dropped 63 on that Celtics team. He set an NBA playoff record on the Celtics.
After that, you got to go face Magic in the finals. Then you're gonna have to face.
And
You're gonna have to face Karl Malone.
Y'all are
and
tripping
John
because
Stockton and their pick and
Jordan
roll
lost to the Rockets
Why we
his
tripping?
first year
Jacory,
back
why
in
we
the
tripping?
league before he after he took his break.
What you
Jordan
talking about?
lost to the Rockets.
What you talking about, Willis?
That first year back.
And what in the playoffs
It was
or in the regular season?
wasn't it?
Nah,
We have never faced Michael Jordan in the playoffs, and thank goodness we have. We have never faced Michael Jordan in the playoffs. We won championships when he wasn't there. We beat.
The one for Michael Jordan retired.
Yeah, we won 2 championships.
And then when he came back,
No, we
lost
no.
to it.
Chill out. Wait, I think we get one.
Yeah, you get
it's
one.
okay. We getting one.
No,
but when they get dance Robin, we're not getting
no back to backs. Like
they will be back to back. We'll get one. But look, Jacory, Michael Jordan won 3 straight. Said, let me take a break. Probably gambling. Probably got suspended for gambling. Make it clean. Beautiful. Let's play baseball. The Rockets got 2. Thank goodness. We won 2 championships. Beat the Knicks. Beat the Magic. Michael Jordan came back. Said, F all that. We're going to have, I'm shooting Space Jam, but I'm going to have all y'all play. I'm going to have a practice court. All the players play me. Let me analyze you. Okay, we got Dennis Rodman. Let's be the greatest team ever. Let's win 72 games. Let's be the greatest basketball team ever.
And on top
period.
of that,
That's what happens.
with the dream team, you got a team full of the best players of their position ever. And they always like, man, he's the best. And he took it. With LeBron on the Redeem team, we had to talk LeBron into being a leader. Even then, Kobe came. It was all like, nah, I'm the leader. Nah, I'm going to do it. And we did it.
Yeah, Kobe was more of the. I think Kobe was more of the guy for that.
Well, LeBron was also
Kobe
very
was more of
young.
the guy.
LeBron was like 22.
No, he wasn't.
Well, LeBron was, I think, year 5 or like he was. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
so like 23 because he got in at 18.
So like, you want this nigga to
he's
be
like
Superman at
2008. Yeah,
23?
you're
How old
That's
are
what
you?
you say
Can
he
you
was.
do that shit?
That's what y'all say he was. I ain't say it. I say that stuff.
God damn.
My man LeBron had true character development. He was
I know,
more
but
realistic to the working man's life. He had
you gave
ups
more
and downs.
realistic.
That's
beautiful.
And by the
That's a
end
great
of his career
documentary.
He had
in
to fight,
Cleveland,
huh? None was given to him, huh? He had to just take everything.
I'm trying to tell you, he had true
But that-
adversity.
Nah, bro. When you're
Jordan
great,
did
you
not
take
ever
it.
have to see true
No,
adversity.
he had adversity. He lost to Detroit 3 straight times. He couldn't beat the Pistons for 3 straight years,
Yes,
and
but
then
his
he
adversity
got past
was a
that by
lot
sweeping.
lamer. LeBron got to the peak and lost. You feel me? He got
What?
to the peak.
He scored 8 points.
Kept getting to
When
the
Jordan
mountaintop.
lose to
He kept
Steph
getting to the
Curry,
mountaintop,
Klay
and we
Thompson,
just pushed
KD,
off every time.
Then we
wasn't.
could
You feel me?
talk some shit.
What'd you say?
I said
What'd you
when Jordan lose to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and KD, then and Draymond, he could talk some shit.
Well, we don't have to worry
because
about that because he was the team. He was the
not with that bullshit.
he was the premier. Well, LeBron ain't beat him either.
He did.
Like LeBron beat him.
If KD
He didn't beat KD, Steph Curry, and Klay. He didn't
If
beat
KD
Steph Curry. When did LeBron beat Steph Curry, Klay, KD? What finals did you watch? You watching all these imaginary finals. What finals did you watch that showed me that? They got swept. When I saw it, they got swept or they lost in 5. That has never happened.
Pause though. That's all I'm trying to say though. Is, you know what I'm saying? If KD played back in Jordan era, he the second best player in that era. If Steph played back in that era, bro, he probably the second best player in that era.
But none of these people you name it was never in his conference though.
That's what they was on the same team.
No, but
fool.
none of them was
he
in his
played them
conference.
niggas on the same team. George Corey,
No,
you hear
bro,
me?
this is ridiculous.
He played on the same team and he lost. So what is the point you trying to make? That
That's
he
what
lost. So
I'm saying. Y'all talking about
so there's no
LeBron
point. He lost.
4-10 in the finals. That's why
take
he
those
fucking
niggas off.
4-10. Jordan ain't have to see nobody like that
bro.
ever.
What did Jordan have to face? So if Jordan faced Dirk Nowitzki, JJ Barea, Jason Terry, he ain't beating them. Give Jordan Dwayne Wade and he facing Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, JJ
You
Barea.
tell Dirk Nowitzki he can still off on niggas just like the Piston was, and he might get that nigga some work.
All I'm saying is, if they play by today's rule and you put LeBron on Jordan's team in those finals, LeBron getting 6 rings.
LeBron, wait. Say
If you put today's leagues on those finals, on Jordan's finals, and replace Jordan with LeBron gets 6 rings.
Hey, look, I don't know. Because look, he couldn't beat Dirk Nowitzki. I don't know if he just beating Magic Johnson. He ain't beating Dirk Nowitzki. I don't know if he's going, let me just beat Magic Johnson and beat Gary Payton and Sean Kemp.
On top of that, Michael Jordan excelled in pretty much every single thing. He dunk contest, defensive player of the year, and MVP. All that stuff.
Yeah, he's the only player. There's only 3 players who ever won Defense Player of the Year, MVP,
Finals.
and Finals MVP.
LeBron has one. He has a defensive
Actually,
player of
2.
the year. It's just sitting in Marcus Gasol's house. We're not gonna talk about
Well,
it.
hey, look, he missed out tough. His plot isn't Michael Jordan's plot. That's what you tell him. It's just not. He ain't got the same
win
plot.
defensive player of the year being on second team all defense. It doesn't.
All them chase down blocks wasn't doing it for you.
You understand?
All them chase down blocks.
You weren't even the best player on defense.
They named look. Why they named the MVP award the Michael Jordan Trophy for a reason? Imagine LeBron won MVP and he won the Michael Jordan Trophy. You know how sad that sound? That's tough.
Did
That's
any
good
current
plot.
player? Did any current player get a trophy named after him? No. But at the end of the day, real life, we know damn well a nigga like fucking like Lou Will or fucking like what's his name, like Jamal Crawford or shit. I'd even be happy if you put Patty Mills on the 6th Man of the Year trophy. What the fuck?
That probably good Manu Ginobili
or Manu Ginobili or some Manu Ginobili, like he was a 6th man, but that nigga was playing 29 minutes a night. That's not a fucking 6th man. You understand? That nigga damn near started.
Like super sub, we call it super sub. But look, hey, my man, you talk about character development. I don't look, John. You didn't unmute yourself. I know you got some questions. Go ahead and throw out your little rebuttals, man. Throw out your little.
I already said it. I was just asking, was that Dallas team not nice? Like,
it was a good team. It just wasn't.
And who they went through. Didn't they beat Kobe them?
They did, yeah.
He did beat Young. He did beat Lil Jordan.
What year was when he beat? What year was that? What
for Kobe?
And how many years he been in the league?
Yeah,
like 15. Year 15.
He was still Kobe.
Look, I tell you, look, that Mavericks team is a good team. The problem is that if LeBron faced that Mavericks team and he was playing outstanding and they lost, fine. LeBron James scored 8 points in the NBA Finals. You are the number 1 player in the world, and you scored 8 points in the NBA Finals. Bro. And Jason Terry is outscoring you. That is crazy. Dirk Nowitzki outplaying you. That's still kind of crazy, but as Dirk Nowitzki, he's a legend, he's Hall of Famer, fine. When they second best player or they third best player, whatever you want to put Jason Terry on that list, is outscoring you, that's tough. You are in the finals. You built this team to win championships. You are the best player in the world. You're coming off a league MVP, and you score 8 points in the finals. Tough. Your plot drops.
Well, shit, while LeBron was scoring 8 points in the finals, MJ was over there stinking up minor league baseball games. Want to be Bo Jackson? You couldn't at least play in the majors.
We're not talking about.
We're not Jordan was all like.
We're not comparing him to Barry Bonds.
LeBron could have played in the NFL. Jordan want to be a 2-sport maestro. Fuck out of here. You might as well go down.
We're not comparing him to Barry Bonds. We ain't comparing him to the Babe Ruth. We compared him to himself, Michael Jordan. We compared him to basketball.
That's a true GOAT, a true athletic specimen.
That plot is tough.
MJ's a wannabe dual athlete.
He's the best.
Look, LeBron wore 23. He wore 23 because of Michael Jordan. Then you go to Miami, 23 is retired because for some reason Miami just retired Michael Jordan's number. You go to Miami, he wears 6 because that's how many rings Michael Jordan got. Go back to Cleveland, 23, that's Michael Jordan number. Go to Lakers, 23, Michael Jordan number. Oh, let me go to 6, Michael Jordan rings. There is no way someone has that much influence over you, and you ain't no way.
Well, shit, Goku wear the outfit because of Master Roshi. He do the Kamehameha because of Master Roshi. He fly because of Master Roshi, but he still beat the fuck out that nigga. I tell you that, and that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Look, oh my God, look, the plot. And just quickly going back to Wilt Chamberlain don't got as much plot as Michael Jordan. Wilt Chamberlain don't even touch this plot. Don't even touch Michael Jordan's plot. It's not even close. I'm just saying. Michael Jordan, literally his last play on Chicago, the last play he had in Chicago is his greatest play ever. They literally put that number 1 as his greatest play, and that's his last play. That is the most plot I have ever seen. How do you retire as a 99 overall player? That is plot central.
LeBron got a talent though that Jordan would never have, bro. LeBron can see the future. You seen his interviews.
Bro, he's a meme,
He be predicting all types of shit.
That man's a cap star.
He can predict anything, you feel me? Like, he knew Jordan would go 6-6 before Jordan went 6-6. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, when you got a player with this much mental and physical aptitude, there was nobody
on top of that, Michael Jordan was like, man, you can't shoot threes. This dude shot 7 threes in the final just because you say he couldn't shoot threes.
Didn't he still average like 32% on his career from the 3-point line? Like, what the fuck?
I know, but look, Michael Jordan is not a 3-point shooter. But when they said he didn't go for that. He didn't like prioritize 3-point shooting. But when they challenged him, he set a 3-point shooting record in the finals. Hey. Michael Jordan has so many. Like they got the plot. There is the flu game. You got the shrug game. You got the move when he did the tongue out and switch hands against the Lakers. He shoot like all that plot. The push off.
The nigga had
it wasn't. It's worse. Stomach poisoning. I had stomach poisoning a couple weeks ago. I don't know how he did that because I couldn't stand up. My man dropping off the Jazz. There ain't no way you doing that. That is too much plot.
Fuck no.
He did. And then on top of that, they talking about man, Steph. If he could do a 3-peat, Michael Jordan did it twice. He took a break and then got back to three-peating.
You want to know why? Like, we want to know why Michael Jordan didn't prioritize his 3-point percentage? Because he wasn't playing niggas that made it where he felt like he had to. He ain't had to scope notice what he was doing. LeBron was having to play niggas, bro. They was shooting threes down your throat. Golden State would have gave the Bulls both 50 and a quarter. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Dennis Rodman would have got hit by one fake Draymond illegal screen and tried to fight, bro. Got ejected.
That's disrespectful.
How many illegal screens are the Bulls taking before they get ejected? I'm just that's a true question.
That is look. The Bulls have all them perimeter defenders. They have 4 elite perimeter defenders. They not dropping. I think Warriors Bulls go.
Them boys was guarding from the free throw line up. They was not worried about Steph Curry's pulling from half court the logo. Them boys ain't never had to slide their feet that far in their life.
They just gonna keep doing? You just gonna let you think? The Bulls and Michael Jordan and that ridiculous competitiveness and all those perimeter defenders and Phil Jackson, greatest coach ever, just going to say, okay, Steph, just let you. And Steph, that's not even smart to just do against that team. You can do that against the Hornets or some Chaka team, but just shoot half-court threes all day against that Chicago Bulls team, that's just not going to happen. Steph is not going to do that.
This is what I'm going to tell you. When Steph walks past half-court, right? And then he steps like 5 steps in front of the logo, and he's like 5 feet behind the 3-point line, and he still sees
we got Dennis
that there is not somebody literally in his grill.
Chris Paul and James Harden took that team. Chris Paul and James Harden took that team to 7. Ain't no way you just go tell me the Bulls just gonna get dropped off like that. We took them boys to 7 games, and we only lost because of Chris Paul.
We had a team specifically built.
Yes, wing defenders.
And that was the KD Warriors. That wasn't even like before KD got there when them boys was really, really hooping for real. Like KD made them boys unbeatable. But they were already unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like they were already unstoppable. Just KD just made it where you knew they weren't gonna lose. But before
who got more plot? Chris Paul and James Harden or Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen? Who got more plot? There ain't no way. Like James Harden and Chris Paul have anti-plot. Their plot goes backwards. They are worst plot I've ever seen besides Karl Malone.
Eric Gordon is the 3rd best scorer on the Chicago Bulls if he was on that team. That's just what I'm going to tell you.
You just throwing out these players, putting them in Chicago Bulls.
Probably starts on the Chicago Bulls.
You throwing out these players from Chicago Bulls. But look. With all that being said, none of those players. But look, Michael Jordan, that Chicago Bulls team won 72 games for a reason. There's a reason we 72 games. You thought it was the East? Was the East the 90s? What's weaker, the 90s East or the 2010s East?
The 90s East, because them 2010s.
That's crazy. 2010s East is terrible. I don't know what you're saying to me. I don't know why you said that. I don't know why you said that.
Okay, we talked about evolution with Wilt Chamberlain. I understand that boy played 70 years ago as opposed to 20 years ago for the Bulls. But 20 years, I don't know if people understand, is still a pretty big gap. I want you to go pick up a 20-year-old cell phone and try to use it.
Tell me. No, but think about it. Even what you just said. That makes more sense. It was like the same kind of thing. Like there's 5 good teams in the East, 5 good teams in the West.
People can actually shoot threes now.
There was no good teams. There was no good teams in the East
because players couldn't shoot. For real.
There was no competition in the East. Who are you talking about? You want to talk about the Jeff Teague Hawks? Is that competition? DeMar DeRozan's Raptors.
DeMar DeRozan's Raptors do filthy things to the 90s East. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So DeMar DeRozan, he's gonna beat Shaq and Penny. They just gonna beat Shaq and Penny. You tell me DeMar DeRozan's Raptors gonna just beat down Shaq and Penny? Tell me yes, and put it on TikTok.
Michael Jordan was seeing Shaq and Penny every year in his career. That was like last year.
He swept Shaq and Penny. Did he sweep Shaq and Penny? He swept Shaq and Penny.
Reggie Miller, bro.
4-0 sweep for Shaq and Penny.
That was young Shaq.
They came off the finals.
He ain't sweep Lakers Shaq because he wasn't around by then.
But look. Tell me. Is that DeMar DeRozan Raptors team? Because I ain't talking about Lakers. Is that DeMar DeRozan Raptors team? Are they beating the Shaq and Penny Orlando Magic?
I would think that DeMar DeRozan team could beat the Pacers with Reggie Miller, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I say? Okay, bro. This might sound disrespectful, and I feel like
say something crazy
because I understand this. I understand the sensibility of what you're saying. You feel what I'm saying? But yes, I do believe that the depth on that Raptors team and just the fact that the average player on that team is better than the average player. I don't give a fuck if the Magic had Shaq and Penny. Them niggas lost.
You don't care about that. That's not important. Yes, let's get it. Now, look.
Because Shaq gonna get 30. Shaq gonna get 30, you feel me? Penny Hardaway gonna get his 25 and 8, you feel me? And then when the rest of the team over there scoring 2 and 3, because them boys
they ain't gonna score 2 and 3. Got 3-point shooters. Don't they have Dennis Scott? They have Nick Anderson. They have Horace Grant. They have 3-point shooters in defense, but they have Shaq and Penny.
Line, They 3-point releases is shorter. Their range is shorter. They don't move as fast.
They shoot the 3-point line is the same amount.
Like
they just shot less threes.
Do you understand why defense is a lot harder nowadays than it was back then? Because of space
like
and boys got to cover more ground.
Look, Jonas Valanciunas getting chewed and destroyed by Shaq. I'm telling you that right now. Jonas Valanciunas getting.
Yes, but everybody but Shaq on that team is getting dunked on by Jonas Valanciunas.
Bro, the Raptors losing in 6, bro. The Raptors losing in 5 or 6 games, bro. Imagine beating the Raptors.
I doubt it because I believe the Raptors can shoot threes, and when the Raptors score 130 and the Magic score their average of like 101, I don't know what Raptors team I think like it's gonna be a lot different.
I don't know why you hyping up the Raptors. Them Raptors teams, look, hey.
Yeah, the East. I'm not hyping up the Raptors team. That's my point. The point is that evolution just shooting down the. Like, I legitimately believe, like the fact that I told you that Chino Hills could beat a 1960s NBA team when those were literally the best basketball players on the planet. You can say that, the 60s,
but not the 90s, bro.
Yes, I believe, okay, this is what I say, bro. I believe if you took, like, shit, let's say from this year, right? Because this year is even farther than what we're talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? So let's say we take this year, right? And we take, like, shit. They only got to be the best team. Let's take the Lakers from this year, right? We know they're not crazy good, you feel me? They're not amazing, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if you put them niggas in the 90s East, and this is going to sound disrespectful as fuck,
it will.
Them niggas would be a top 4 seed. Bro. No bullshit.
No, they would not.
At this point.
They would not, bro.
Because
we're playing 90s rules too? We playing 90s rules too? No, I ain't know.
90s rules, them niggas still got a 3-point line. You talking about all that hacking and shit?
I know, but we're in the 90s. So, like, if you put them in the 90s, they're gonna it's gonna adjust to that game, bro. So they're not gonna be very good.
So you're telling me that they can, like, the niggas gonna be stealing off on them, but you're gonna give
AD not even gonna be healthy enough
Patrick
to get
Beverly, who knows to hit niggas, you're gonna get them the ability to find
we gonna be hitting AD. They know his knees suck. Bro. We gonna hit AD, get him out for 40 games. We know that. We can do that now. We good. That's the scouting report. Let him come into the paint and knock him out.
When they run a pick and roll and they see AD pop out for 3, their center's gonna be so far deep in the paint and confused that this nigga's gonna take practice jumpers for half the game. Do you understand?
And AD shoot like 29. AD don't even shoot that well from 3. He ain't shoot that well from 3 since that bubble championship.
Yeah,
so it's whatever. We let that happen.
Yeah, because he sucked, bro. And niggas, like, they might not guard him all the time, but they'll throw a hand up eventually. Them niggas gonna be drop coverage. Like, he's gonna know that nobody out there is checking for him. Like, he know, like, nowadays he thinks that, but back then he's gonna know that. Like, he's gonna be like, Shaq, Shaq, you're gonna dunk on me, Shaq. But listen, Shaq, like, you cannot guard me either. That's just factual. Like, you can't guard him either. Shaq not guarding one nigga on the perimeter, let alone that nigga. When that nigga hit him,
he not guarding no one on the perimeter. Yeah, I know. But Shaq is destroying everybody that you're talking about. Besides, like, there's no. Shaq and Penny is beating all those Eastern Conference teams.
And my thing is Shaq, as big as that fat fuck nigga is, he make one late rotation, and LeBron might just, you know what I'm saying, make that nigga one of his top 10 players. That's all I'm gonna say. You feel me? And then Patrick Beverly
you disrespecting the 90s, boy. You disrespecting Patrick Beverly ain't shooting no more. Patrick Beverly, nah. Let's not bring Patrick Beverly into this. We're not hyping up this Lakers team. I'll tell you. Look. And John, I don't know if you have any opinions. I know you're listening to all of this. I feel like
Austin Reeves will get them niggas some buckets. Like, that's how deep I feel like it is.
He just saying everybody in the league. But okay, John, I don't know if you have any opinions. Do you have any opinions? I'm just curious. And then Jacory, I'm gonna ask you if you have any opinions on any of this stuff. Obviously, you're gonna be pro LeBron, but go ahead.
I do think LeBron is the GOAT. Just like Wilt, I never seen Jordan play, so I can't say that he is the GOAT. He's like, to me, Jordan is like the '90s Cowboys, great in the '90s, but I don't see how he's still relevant today. Just how people say
he's very relevant, bro. Everybody buy his shoes. He got the highest on shoes in the world, and I don't think anybody ever beating him. And there's a reason. Everybody want to be like Mike. LeBron's ain't gonna outsell Jordan's ever. I'm telling you right now. I don't care how it'll be 20 years. Huh?
Is that basketball? Is that stat?
What, the George?
You
no, but look, that's influence. No, you talking about that's influence. That's a part of that. That
is
influence.
Know,
that's a part of
Jordan
it.
Out of school. He not affecting the kids. He don't care about the youth.
No, but see, Jacory, that's the thing. And John, we talk about that's the thing. That's that greatest, best argument. That's that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady argument. That's that greatest, best thing. There is a difference between those two things.
No.
There's a difference between those two things.
That Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers thing is completely different because Tom Brady is both greater.
See, that's where you're lying. That's where you're lying. That's where you're lying.
Freak that up.
Tom Brady has thrown the ball. as good as Aaron Rodgers on his worst.
Oh my gosh,
you are
he done played 15 years. He older than multiple kids, bro. Like, that's ridiculous.
Tom Brady
in the league longer than multiple kids. I got one
He brought that back. He went back to August. He brought back his August vibe. That's hilarious.
You are smoking something much
goodness.
stronger than I am.
A little bit with what you said, Jacory, right? That's why we were jumping on you in August. Tyreek wasn't here to help you out because Tyreek's a big Aaron Rodgers fan. He wasn't here to help you out and make you happy. But Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, in terms of greatest and best, like I said, same thing with me and Jordan LeBron. Like Aaron Rodgers could be the better quarterback. How you could say also LeBron may be the better player in terms of just overall all aspects of basketball. But the influence that Tom and Michael, the influence, the stats, the championships, all of that just circulates. All you put that in a big pot. That's what greatness is. It's a little different. Like Wayne Gretzky is not the greatest, is not the best hockey player ever, but he's the greatest. They retired his number everywhere. That's just greatness. That's influence. That's stats. That's championships.
I don't know how you could continuously throw all this shit in my face and tell me he the greatest because he got all this shit in my face. I don't care about all this shit. I care about what he did when he played basketball. And all I know is who was the most dominant player when they played basketball? It was Wilt goddamn Chamberlain.
Bring back that Wilt.
Was better and better. LeBron was better, but he had the greater career. Wilt had a better career, but Jordan had the GOAT career. I don't want to hear that shit. All I know is there's a better player in their era. LeBron is a better player in his era. LeBron is a better player. LeBron is probably the best player that we have ever seen. The way he carries a team to the finals. Okay?
Yeah, like he's the best player of the era. He's the best player we've seen. We are in our age. Yeah, he is the best player. But in my opinion, like Michael Jordan.
I don't understand how you say that though.
But
see, it's making your point.
There's that difference, bro.
Okay.
No, because the greatest is different from best. Those are two different things. I'm telling you, there are two different things, bro.
How can you not?
It is.
How
could be a better
the greatest, but not the best?
I love you asking me that again. I love that. Because if you're the best is just what you do. Like in terms of, let's go with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, one real quick because I know it's a basketball argument. But Aaron Rodgers, you can say he's better, maybe stronger arm, better mobility, long, things that, accuracy downfield. You can say, Aaron Rodgers is better just overall, right? Maybe you put Aaron Rodgers in a different situation, he could have had a greater career. But Aaron Rodgers has won championship, and we were 12 years old or 11 years old or 10 years old when that happened. Tom Brady has 7, and he has 1 for a team that hadn't won a championship. Tampa Bay don't win championships. They won one his first year there. He has 7 championships. So the greatness aspect of winning, clutchness, leadership, influence, things like that.
But I'm not going to ever consider a
Tom
fucking bus driver great. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're somebody who could just sit on a pedestal and just because you had everything go right for you in the universe, you had the greatest career.
That's plot.
No. Some niggas gotta grind. Some niggas gotta work through the hardship. No.
And that's what my nigga LeBron had to do. Character development.
That plot.
Character development.
Everybody got plot. Some
that's
true
plot. True plot has character development. Jordan had no character development. He came in, killed niggas. Was getting beat up.
Beautiful.
Then got swole, killed niggas again. Yeah.
That's
took a
beautiful.
break, came back, killed niggas again.
And won 3 more. That's a great story.
It was a shitty GM. Shitty GM.
He is the worst GM. Probably the worst GM ever. But luckily, we not grading him off that. Luckily, I'm grading him off.
And he makes shoes, and he hates kids. My nigga LeBron got a school for kids.
LeBron is a better player. You're not better. He is a better player. You can say he's a better player. He's not a greater player, but he is a better human. That's 1,000%. LeBron James is 1,000% a better person than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, because Jordan's an alcohol and a gambling addict. You feel me? My nigga
he's
LeBron
a better person
in his relationship. You feel me? But that's not even the point. That's not even the point.
Yeah, but he's a better person. But I don't think in terms of greater, I don't know what greater persons are, but greater player, definitely the guy with the perfect career, I believe is, and the shoe, all the influence.
For that.
No.
He eat Space Jam 2, ain't better than Space Jam 1. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And Michael Jordan, he did the commercials with Gatorade with the kids. What do you mean?
And everybody will be like Mike. That like Mike slogan is perfect. The influence is too strong.
Well, you got to be great. They love you. You ain't got to love them.
But I want to see though, Lila. So 2 of us say Jordan. 2 of us say LeBron, 1 says Wilt. So there is very much an odd man out.
Here's his second man. Is his second place though? Is LeBron? I want to know. So I feel like that's 2.5.
No, like yeah, for sure.
That's interesting.
For sure, number 3.
Yeah,
No, for sure. LeBron number 2, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I put LeBron number 2. LeBron
Wilt
is
number 1.
He's a close number 2, but I believe. That's Wilt like number 7, 8 to me.
I don't know because we talking about
Wilt
got Kobe ahead.
Wilt like 11 to me. You feel me?
He put 11. That's tough.
Because Wilt not even swole. Like Giannis.
But my
Giannis
thing
would
is,
dunk
he
on
was swole. Like that's what I'm not. You're not understanding how strong that man was.
Strong don't mean swole. Like Giannis strong and swole. Like if Embiid posted up Giannis, even if them niggas the same strength, that extra 50 pounds matters. Like that's a lot to deal with.
Wilt weighed
like
290,
he got
bro.
to do
What
more
are you
work
talking
for you just
about?
because he bigger
Wilt
than you.
weighed
You understand what I'm
290,
saying?
bro. He's competing in today.
Yeah, you disrespecting this GOAT, man. You can't disrespect that man's GOAT like that. Tobias, that's the LeBron. Well, if you go and say, oh, how many people think LeBron is the greatest? It's gonna be a lot of people your age for sure, or around your age. I think that's, like I said, that's more of a recency bias, John. I think that is for sure recency bias. If you say you never watched Michael Jordan, it just makes sense. You think LeBron is the greatest because that's what you've seen. So that greatness is what you're going to say is the greatest. Ja'Cory, if you go and walk and talk to 100 people, you're literally the only one who's ever going to say Wilt's number 1. I think you can go to 1,000, 10,000. You'll hear Kobe's. Yeah, you'll hear maybe Kobe number 1. You'll hear some Kareem's number 1. Maybe a Magic or 2. A good amount of LeBrons, a lot of Jordans, but you ain't gonna hear no Wilt.
I guess me and Joel Embiid
You
on the
might
same
hear a step
trend.
before you hear a Wilt, low key.
I said I guess me and Joel
Might
Embiid on the same trend.
Oh, Embiid put him.
Yeah, Embiid say Wilt is
number
the
1?
best player of all time.
Nah, he's a hater.
Well, good. Hey, you got a friend. That's 2 out of 8
I mean,
billion,
I'm
8 billion
with
people now.
him.
I
He
know
was
he's
like
got
a
8
pretty
billion
What I will
people.
say is Wilt has a
basketball
top 3
IQ.
last name in NBA history. You know what I'm saying? Chamberlain's pretty tight. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate on that. Chamberlain's a pretty.
Hey, look, and he had 20,000 women he had sex with.
That nigga's like the modern
that's
day
good. That's good off.
back then.
That's good off the court plot. Hey, he main character off the court. Ain't nobody touching that plot. But on the court, his plot wasn't. He benefited off of some stuff, but he still wasn't winning enough. So he ain't got the perfect career.
He
had to go with
just
the
had to
Lakers
grind
to
through
get
the mud, like
to win
I
that
said.
championship.
His path was a little dirtier than
He ain't grind through no mud. That man just walked
he
in.
just ain't had the same fancy shoes.
Like I swear, like that man has some seasons averaging like double digits. Like some seasons he averaged like double digits, like not double digits, like single.
You talking about Wilt?
Yeah, it's funny. Wilt had averaged 50 a game and still has a lower total career scoring average than Michael Jordan. I tell you, Wilt fell off.
I mean, he is
crazy.
Michael Jordan is also
Michael Jordan
crazy fall off.
Michael Jordan took 5 years off too. So
people Jordan size.
Kind of bad.
Like you got to realize that.
But the niggas he playing with
That
still
don't
like
make
6
him any
inches shorter,
fucking
like
more
Ja'Cory.
like inhuman. He still go drop off. He still go fucking deteriorate.
Bro, if you play 2K and you get 599 overall point guards and you have them play 580 overall centers, bro, I apologize, bro, but they're going to get mixed the fuck up, bro. They're not getting no rebounds.
Wilt Chamberlain is an 80
80
overall center.
Because you see what I'm
Wilt
saying? Them
Chamberlain
guards
is an
gonna
80
miss shots,
overall
all right?
center.
Them centers is
I'm
not
not
missing
talking
one
about
layup
them
on them
niggas. I'm
small
talking
ass
about Wilt
guards. You feel
Chamberlain.
me?
And I'm talking about how he ducked off. Yeah, that nigga's old and he always played on bad teams.
Well, Wilt Chamberlain was playing against 5 point guards 90% of his games. You feel me?
That's
Maybe once in a
hilarious.
while,
That's
you gotta
tough.
see.
That man, but that man ain't getting no. Well, Wilt Chamberlain ain't here no more. But hey, maybe his son. He ain't getting no autograph for him. He disrespecting that man, Wilt Chamberlain, like crazy. That's hilarious. Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, like Ja'Cory, that you and Joel Embiid. You have a friend. You can hit him up on Twitter. Maybe he'll hit you back because you said that. But I think it's just you and him on this.
I don't think so.
Big planet.
I think
here.
it's a growing thing where people are starting to understand like dominance really plays a great part into greatness.
I think Shaq is more. I think Shaq's more dominant than Wilt Chamberlain. I think Shaq's more dominant.
I think there will be
99
songs
Shaq's pretty
written
crazy.
about Wilt and not songs like Wilt made about himself. I think that would be the difference.
I think,
Bro, it
yeah.
sound good, bro.
Wilt's a great player, but for sure he is an
I
overrated player.
think
For sure, he's one of the more. From the fact the 50 a game and all that is put context. He's good. He's a Hall of Famer. MVP caliber player, but he's not.
You're crazy. He was a freak athlete that could do it in today's.
He's great, just not what you think he is. LeBron, like I say, hey, some people like the anime a little different. I guess that's what Tobias is telling me. Some people like having their anime character have the worst just arc ever, where everything bad happens to him, and he comes back, and then good things happen, but
bro,
and then bad things happen again.
LeBron's story is like Attack on Titan, bro. It was pretty gory, bro. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people.
That's really gruesome. That's very gruesome. That's tough.
It's 10 finals appearances, like.
Bro, but to get there, bro, you really have to go against.
It's that context.
Nobody really stands out in that like story in the East. Nobody stands out
until he gets to the finals, and then when he faces the finals, that's when he faces the hard West, and then that's then it's like, okay.
But them teams he was playing, bro, like Jordan played.
No, bro, you going against the MVP Derrick Rose.
Like Sports Medicine wasn't even the same. Them boys was playing 82 games. You know they probably needed. So what you call it? What they be calling them now? The breaks and shit, they probably needed breaks, you know what I'm saying? But they wasn't taking breaks. Them guys playing 82 games. They soared by the playoffs. Jordan is playing against beat up individuals. And you can say
he played 82 as well. He was also playing those games. He was playing 82 games.
I hear you. It sound good, but the reality is, you feel me, is that Jordan, you feel me, was like I said, he was a freak of nature, a different individual.
What is LeBron?
A sea full of niggas that were not on the same tier as him. LeBron is a freak of nature and a era full of freaks of nature, where like he has to see Giannis's and Steph Curry's and fucking Joel Embiid's and fucking Jokic's.
Shaq wasn't a freak of nature.
Yes, bro, he was a freak of nature, but at least you know it's Shaq, bro. That nigga couldn't like move his feet for real. Like you could find ways to fuck him up. How you defeating Giannis?
But what is Hakeem
Put a nigga
though?
on the free throw line. Shit, in the finals he might go 10 or 10 on your ass.
Who was Hakeem? Who was David Robinson? Who was
Hakeem was amazing, bro, but God hold him. You got to nerf everybody and made him 6'9". Yeah, everybody know if Hakeem was 7 foot, he might be greatest player all time.
What about David Robinson?
The man was 6'9".
You have to see Patrick Ewing.
David Robinson was him until it was time to be him.
But then on top of that, he did go.
And he seen him.
And then on top of that,
he would get lit up every
on top
time.
of that, Michael Jordan did go against Reggie Miller, which is like the Steph Curry of his time, bro. Dropped him off.
That's drunk as fuck, because Reggie Miller, at least he shot with his feet by the line. Steph Curry will shoot you from the parking lot. He'll come out his car and
Steph Curry bro. I mean, Reggie Miller would kick you when he shoots.
And he's taller than Steph.
And they allowed that.
Over people.
And Steph shot on and off ball. He shoot crazy on and off ball. You see him early career. You see that one play where he dribbled through 5 people instead of step back. Steve Kerr.
You tell me. Look, Steph might have more plot than LeBron. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Steph 4-2 in the finals. I ain't gonna lie. That's some good plot. He beat LeBron 3 times in the finals too.
But he don't got chips. He don't got 10 chips, and he only got like 1 Finals MVP. Andre Iguodala got 1 over him. That's pretty bad plot. I ain't gonna lie.
But I mean, that's a bad moment. But he last year he had the 3-point record. All-Star Game MVP, Finals MVP. That's a good plot. That's a bet to me. That sounds like that's over LeBron in terms of plot. I ain't gonna lie. That plot story. Steph Curry got some Naruto plot.
And Steph Curry got the only unanimous MVP with LeBron in the league. That means LeBron ain't getting not one vote.
That's tough.
Not one vote. Nobody thought that LeBron was the best player in that season. Not one person.
There's a guy with more. Like I said, it's arguable. There was no. If you in the '90s, there's no guy that got more.
But my thing
is,
my man LeBron got MVPs when he's known to literally be a guy that during the regular season gives consistently 80 to 85% effort. Like legitimately does not play defense.
And why was he mad when Steph Curry got the MVP?
And even with him not playing defense for real, he is still considered one of the better defenders in the league for the majority of his career.
Defensive player of the year.
And Jordan got Jordan got more MVPs.
Defensive player of the year.
If you would look at accolades, it's
dunk contest.
Yeah, but LeBron MVPs.
He played less years and more MVPs.
LeBron didn't want to tip a dunk contest. Like nothing, bro. Like.
Because he didn't want to embarrass himself.
Michael Jordan didn't even have to play when there was social media. Like back then, you feel me? People locked in the narratives and they supported their guys.
Bro,
nowadays, you got
Michael
niggas
Jordan
on
was
Twitter
like
where one
Jackson.
guy has one bad game and they starting to label the guys.
Michael
Jordan was like Michael Jackson.
Michael Jordan can't go outside.
They got videos.
He can't go outside.
He couldn't go outside.
He can't go outside.
He was like Michael Jackson.
He can't go outside. He only won. There's only one country. I think he said there's only one country he could go to and no one noticed him. I think it was like France, and then they figured him out. It was like tough. Okay,
come on, bro.
I get mobbed, but like I said, we won't change your mind. I think the only way really to change your mind is if LeBron just does something terribly bad or amazingly good. Might change my mind. If LeBron beat that Golden State team by himself in 2018, because he was really going off in that. If he beat that Golden State, J.R. Smith did sell him like historically. If he beat that team, I would have for sure switched up, because the only way for me to think LeBron's better in terms of greatness than Michael Jordan is LeBron does something that I literally believe Michael Jordan cannot do, and I don't believe Michael Jordan could beat that team by himself. So if LeBron did that, I would be like, yeah, greatest player he played. J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson, Kyle Korver, you beat the Warriors, you're the greatest player. He didn't. He got swept. Tough. Makes sense though. It's the Warriors good team.
A good team.
Dang, Chris Paul got hurt. No plot. Yeah, well, we won't change your mind. Maybe we'll change Jacory's mind one day. That Wilt Chamberlain take's pretty crazy, but it's gonna be on TikTok, and maybe you'll find some TikTok friends who think Wilt Chamberlain greatest.
The enlightened individual. Enlightened individual. All right. We go show the world.
Maybe they shop at the same plug you do.
We go show the world.
So yeah, I'll give you a chance to shine. I'll make sure I put it on TikTok. I'll give you a chance to shine. I think people comment, they're gonna say that you drinking some, but hey, maybe you find someone, maybe, you know. But I want to look, everybody just get like, if you have any final words on what you think, just like 30 seconds, get your final words off on why you think this guy is the greatest. So I'll let Jacory, you started off, so I'll let you finish, or I'll let you start off now and get your 30 seconds out, final words on why you think your guy's the GOAT.
Cool. It's just Wilt is Wilt. Like we said, genetics are genetics. He's the best in his era, not because his scoring, but just because how freakish of nature he was. Like, and for him being that big and his size and his weight, Tobias, you say he's underweight, 299 or 290, I mean. But he also had like a little finesse shot too. So like, he clearly could have adapted to today's league. You say he could be an MVP. I think he could be a champ.
Yeah, put him on the right team. Yeah. So Jacory says, TikTok. Jacory says that Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest and best player of all time. He says that Wilt Chamberlain is better than LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, and all your favorite players. Okay, so yes, rest in peace, Wilt Chamberlain. Corey, very interesting take. I believe is completely wrong, but good. You'll find a friend. Tobias, give you 30 seconds why you think you guys to go.
Real quick shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying plot purposes, you feel me? Do you want your Ichigos, or do you want your Naruto's, you feel me? Do you want your Danny Phantoms, you feel me? Or do you want your Ben 10s, bro? Do you want your young boys, bro? Or do you want your little babies, bro? You want the guys that had the easy road that was green, or the nigga that had true adversity, true character development, and shows true dominance throughout it all? You feel me? A guy that in every facet of the game is elite, except for free throw shooting and 3-point shooting, but he's still a better 3-point shooter than Jordan, while being a significantly worse free throw shooter. But athletic-wise and size-wise, he's better in both those facets, and he played in a much more difficult league, in my opinion, as opposed to where Jordan was a freak of nature, a GOAT-tier candidate, the second best player of all time, in my opinion. However, he played against people that were not to the same tier of people that LeBron played against, hence the difference and the finals record. Yet LeBron still persevered to make 10 finals, which I believe people disregard and do not respect enough. I am done.
Interesting take. So TikTok, which is not as controversial, he believes LeBron is the greatest. It's not as controversial. A lot of you 20 to 23 year olds are going to say that as well. So you can for sure agree with him if you want to. John, I know you didn't get a lot out. It doesn't have to be 30 seconds. I don't know if your opinion is 30 seconds. You can get a good 10 seconds out on why you think your guy is number one.
I'll start off by saying I'm not that big on basketball, but I do think there's a difference between greater and best. The gap between Jordan and LeBron's stats are more similar than Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Tom Brady has 7, Aaron Rodgers has 1 championship. So that's a bigger gap. But as far as Jordan and LeBron, what is the difference? Like 2 championships?
It's two championships and 2 championships.
LeBron is like the all-time scorer, or he's on pace to be an all-time scorer. I'm pretty sure he has more assists, things of that nature. So their stats are more similar, are closer together. I do think LeBron is the GOAT because I seen him play. I never seen Wilt. I never seen Jordan play. So how can they be the greatest?
No one's seen Wilt.
What you gonna pull the?
It's around your world. We live in your world. How can it be the greatest if I ain't seen him?
How many games have you actually saw of Jordan?
No, I've seen a couple. I'd be bored. I work from home. I just put on some Michael Jordan.
It's 2. All right, that's fine. You got to pull the VCR out unless you go look at YouTube highlights. But for the most part, I think LeBron's stats are good enough to be the greatest player of all time.
Okay, John, I just wanted to say it was 2 rings to like 4 appearances, because LeBron also had 4 more appearances than Michael Jordan.
Factual.
No, this is what I'll tell you. This is what I'll tell you. Number one, John, I do like you sneaked in the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady thing to get Jacory riled up one more time. Number 2, you do add the 4 appearances, but then you also add the 6 losses. You gotta. There's also that difference too. You can't just say 2 more.
Yeah, but those years
forgot
LeBron lost
losses.
in the finals. I want to remind us that Jordan was losing before he even made the finals. However, we don't factor
but
that in.
He lost to
worse than a first round or a second round.
I know we said that was the argument for a little bit in LeBron. He did lose in that first round series to Phoenix, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Everyone gets a first round loss.
Well,
Jordan was losing to the Celtics, so that's why I'm.
How many years did Jordan play before he made the playoffs?
He made the playoffs second season.
And how many times did he win? Like, how many seasons did he play before his first win?
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
I thought he made it to
but
his first series.
To the playoffs his rookie year.
Oh, his first series is like three years. 3 years.
Does anybody know what Larry Bird's point total was in those 3-point competitions? You know what I'm saying?
Why you trying to slander Larry Bird too? Let's just go to Larry Bird. Why you slander Larry Bird?
Devin Booker shooting in the 30s.
No. We're not comparing Booker to Bird. No. You trying to put this? You really trying to go crazy? I know you trying to go crazy.
That Celtics team. I'm sorry, bro.
Larry Bird is a significantly better player than Booker. Stop talking. Don't bring that to me. Don't bring that to me.
I don't know.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
That team is significantly better than that Celtics team.
Wait. What? No. You trying to bring crazy? You come on. Look. You need to chill out. You going crazy? You trying to? You throwing out stuff. You throwing out stuff. Look. You need to chill out.
Like Jay Crowder would be like the 4th best defender on that Celtics team.
You got look. I don't know.
He might be the 5th best shooter. He can't even shoot for real.
But your way of slander, trying to drop Jordan's competition by boosting up these teams like the Raptors and the Suns and all that. No, we ain't doing that. But look. John. So it took a couple years, like 3 years. He beat Cleveland, did that beautiful. He shoot shot and he started jumping around, and then he ran to Detroit, and then Detroit became his problem until he beat them, and then won championships. That's his career arc. So, similar to LeBron's. LeBron's second year made the playoffs, but LeBron he faced the Wizards in the first round, not the Celtics, so he can beat up on Gilbert Arenas. So, he's drop off the Wizards and move on. But made the finals at a young age, swept by the Spurs, no problem, no big deal. Like I didn't put that 0 when he lost to the Spurs. I didn't put that against his record. I didn't care for that. Him losing to Dallas, that's like 6 losses. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough. You can't. There's no defending that. It's literally the worst thing ever. There's nothing comparable.
I wish we could
LeBron
show like a
that.
soccer fan that knows nothing about basketball, just lay out their like career accomplishments, bro. And I feel like most people when they see 4 out of 10 in the finals or 6 out of 6 in the finals,
6 out of 6 in the finals. Wouldn't they take 6 out of 6 or 4 out of 10?
And then they say, I don't know, bro. I feel like if you ask me, bro, would you rather go? You would take
4 out of 10. You would take 6 terrible times rather than 0 terrible times.
4 more times than 6 times total.
To lose 4 more times? You would take 4 more times to lose more? You just want to go there to lose? Are you addicted to losing?
It's still an accomplishment.
You're losing.
But you didn't get that opportunity.
Losing. And this is not before.
I look at the that Jordan can't even say he had a chance.
He said, no, but look, Tobias ain't add that extra context. He just said 6, 6, 4, 10. Who you picking? He ain't add all that extra context. 6 out of 6. I'm rather watching a team win 6 out of 6 than 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, that's 6 times for me to be sad.
But I say all their career accomplishments. I feel like when you also pull out the fact that LeBron done played 22 years and then you throw out his career averages where he's almost averaging a triple-double on the career.
But he's not going to stay with
you. Know what I'm saying?
No,
and you see these all-time in points and top 10 and the top 5 in assists and top 5 in rebounds and all these different
I'd rather be a Bulls fan than either a Cleveland fan, a Miami fan, LA fan. If I'm a Cleveland fan, I went through hell for many years till I got to see anything. Miami fan, I only get a 4-year college. It's like a college period, and then he's gone. He leaves me off a terrible loss. And if I'm a Laker fan, I have 1 win, and then the last 3 years have been ass. So I don't know. I'd rather just be a Bulls fan and get my 6 championships. But
so you rather
Tyreek,
a Bulls fan and dominant, right?
Yeah, win 6 out of 6. Yeah, I'd rather be a Bulls fan. Yeah. Just having to be.
That goes back to Wilt.
You trying to bring? Don't bring him. Don't bring Ja'Cory back. Don't bring Ja'Cory back in. Ja'Cory made his point. Right. Don't bring Ja'Cory back in.
I keep coming up because it's right.
Tyree, you can give me your 30 seconds, man, on why you think your guys.
Man, I got Mike because, like I said, he went against top Hall of Fame players that everybody in basketball world agrees universally. These are like top players in their positions ever. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, you got Reggie Miller, you got Hakeem, you got Duncan not Duncan Robinson, David Robinson.
Don't think of the bubble, man. Don't think of the bubble.
David Robinson. You got Patrick Ewing. You have Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. You have all these players that universally agreed upon of like really great players to set the foundation. You got LeBron, who just walks to the finals against who is you can't really readily you can't name people in his conference that are really, really good. It's like, oh man, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer one day. Not one of them, like a Sherlock Hall of Famer. Paul George broke his foot. Like you got all these small point guard led teams like Kemba, and you got IT. You got Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose an MVP, so I can't knock that, but still.
But he tore his ACL. He tore his ACL. So he
Are y'all ever going to?
Celtics were an older team. They were older. They beat the Celtics. They beat a good Celtics team. When they were the Heat, they beat the Celtics. They were pretty good the first 2 years, and then they got extremely old and just faded away. So when
LeBron went against adversity,
he was a Hall of Famer. So
he folded. He didn't. Every time he went against adversity, he had trouble against really bad trouble. And it was like a real dicey, it was like, man, I don't know. It's like a 50-50 chance LeBron might come through. Michael Jordan, he go against some stuff. 9 times out of 10, probably 10 out of 10, he's going to come out on top.
Well, really, 6 out of 15. If we look at the record, it's 6 out of 15.
No.
Well, every time we could do the same. How many times LeBron win? 4 out of 20. Like we could do the same thing. Like, come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
4 out of 21, whatever.
I still say. I mean, like shit. If this was like a game show or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get the final prize, but he still walked out with like 100K.
Consolation.
You feel me?
Also,
Jordan wasn't even getting to that bitch half the time.
Jordan came out the weak ass East too, but.
No, he didn't. I just named off these players.
The East in the 90s is better.
You forget context. Old Larry.
The Shaq and Penny Magic and Patrick Ewing's Knicks and
Patrick Ewing, who really
Reggie
like
Miller's
we seen Patrick Ewing, who's really nice, a legend. He's not him. You got what's his name? What's that nigga for the Jazz? Really nice player, bad person, not him.
Karl Malone. He's a bad person. He was a great player. He won 2 MVPs. He's a terrible person.
He's a bad man.
But look, this I'm telling you. Okay, so my reasoning on why Michael Jordan, I believe, is the GOAT, is because there has never been more plot for any player I have ever seen in my life. There are so many moments, games, accolades, the dunk contest when he has his tongue out, he does the jump man, all of those things. Like his whole entire career is literally perfect. Not only does he literally have a perfect career, but when he got Scottie Pippen, just one all-star player, he never lost. Basically never lost again for the rest of his Chicago Bulls career. Like, because we say he's 6 out of 15. Really, it's more like the first couple years he didn't have Scottie Pippen, then he got Scottie Pippen, and he never lost in the Bulls. The Bulls never lost ever again with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Literally ever again. It took them to retire for them to lose. Like, for the rest of his career, if the only thing that messed him up is he came back with the Wizards. Because if he didn't come back with the Wizards and he didn't drop his scoring average by 2 points, he went from 32 a game for career to 30 and had those stupid years on the Wizards, then there's really nothing to talk about because he retired as a 99 overall. LeBron not retiring as a 99 overall. But he would have retired with that post shot in Utah. He would have retired as a 99 overall, and that's his greatest play ever. And that's a crazy, beautiful plot way to end his career. So that's. And look, I said it was so good what I was saying. Tobias had to leave. I'm joking, right? But yeah, I think Michael Jordan to go. But obviously, we won't. I'm not gonna change no one's mind because that's not how that works. But Tobias is gone because I said I had a really good point and made him vanish.
You say if he would have went to a good team, that's like saying if Aaron Rodgers played on a good team. I don't hear anything.
He put that back in. Hey, no, we gonna say that we gonna get you. We'll get you another chance, and Tyreek, you can come along, and y'all can write and muster up your best Aaron Rodgers point. I know, John, you agree with me with Tom Brady, so we definitely in Tobias. So we'll get a good one out for you. So we'll definitely have that debate again because that's hilarious and that's very clippable. They believe Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers cost me in my fantasy league. I'm very pissed. I'm not in the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
Absolutely. You just tell me the date.
Oh yeah, his laptop died. That's hilarious. His laptop died. I got you. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And we will talk to y'all later. We out. Peace.
Bye.